Hello! Happy February! Here are my 5, or possibly 6, if I'm lucky, priority reads for this month. So let's just get to it. The first book I plan on focusing on is The Martyr by Anthony Ryan. This is the second installment in the Covenant of Steel trilogy. The first installment, The Pariah, was my favorite read of January, so I guess that makes it my favorite read of the year so far. I hope that The Martyr can keep the momentum, can keep me just as enthralled, keep me just as emotionally invested. And I do think that Anthony Ryan, if he's able to pull off this trilogy, might just go into my top 5 favorite authors because he can write so well. And there's so many interesting themes that I find very compelling in this trilogy, at least in the first installment. I hope those themes remain prevalent in The Martyr. So I'm very excited to be picking that up and finishing this early February. The next 2 books I plan on focusing on for this month is Limited Wish and Dispel Illusion by Mark Lawrence, the second and third installment in his Impossible Times trilogy. Mark Lawrence is one of my favorite authors. And this trilogy, he has written several of them, is his least favorite and least critically acclaimed. I read the first installment, One Word Kill, in 2022, and I liked it okay. It was pretty good. It's YA, it takes place in the 80s. It's not exactly gritty or grimdark or cutting edge, but I enjoyed it enough, and one of my goals for 2024 is to finish a lot of the series I started. So I'll get this series out of the way, and I won't have to worry about it, and I hope it'll end on a good note, because so far, there hasn't been anything from Mark Lawrence that has been a miss for me, and I doubt that this series will be the first series to disappoint me. The next book I plan on focusing on for February is a standalone, Flowers for Algernon. This book is very critically acclaimed. It tells the story of a man who suffers from many mental deficits. He goes through some experimental, procedures that makes him intelligent. The story is told through journal entries. So it starts off with him speaking in broken English, being very unintelligent, becoming very intelligent, and then I guess something goes wrong, and he loses his intelligence, and he goes back to where he started. It's supposed to be very tragic. I've been told by people who love this book that this has a very high probability of making me cry. And as someone who one of their worst fears is losing their mental faculties, I think this will make me definitely tear up. I think this will be a very emotional read for me, and I'm all for it. I'm very excited to read Flowers for Algernon. The next book I plan on focusing on for the month is Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. Scythe was a very surprising favorite read of mine for 2023. The first installment in this trilogy. Thunderhead is the second. And I'm very excited to continue on the Age of Scythe journey. This series gets a lot of good things are said about the Age of Scythe trilogy. And after reading the first installment, I can definitely see why. It's YA done right. I generally don't like YA, even though I have, including this one, 3 YA novels on my February TBR. But I have no doubts that I'm going to enjoy Thunderhead. And possibly book number 6 for February that I hope I can get to is The Traitor by Anthony Ryan, the third installment in the Covenant of Steel trilogy. But that's a pretty thick stack of books. I got a full-time job, and of course I'll be reading some other smaller works throughout the month. But it would be something really special if I could finish the Covenant of Steel trilogy. Let me just take off this crown. In 1 month. If I finished The Traitor and The Martyr in February, the Covenant of Steel trilogy will be the series that I finish the quickest since I've been an adult. And that'll be very exciting. And I enjoyed the first installment so much that I think there's a pretty high probability of that happening. So hopefully I can find some time and get through these 6 books. I don't have it on me, but I also plan on continuing on with Attack on Titan, because that's a manga series I started in January. Procuring all the volumes of manga from your local library is a pretty difficult task, because, it's hard to get the manga volumes in order. But I think I can get probably the first 12 volumes done of Attack on Titan. If I can get those 12 volumes done, I'll be a pretty happy man. So there you have it. That's my February TBR. Those are my priority reads. I'm very excited to get to them. If you liked any of these books, kind of tell me what I should be expecting. Tell me how you enjoyed them. And I think we'll have a lot to talk about at the end of this month. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.